Well, good evening and welcome to Live in the Hive with me, Michelle Eagleton. Yes, it's Thursday night, and where else would you be at 8 o'clock except with me in the Hive, my garden bar? And this is a place where we have had a plethora of guests in for the past 19 weeks. And to celebrate us about to turn 20 episodes, I have got for you this evening a very special programme. We put together the best bits and some of my favourite guests that have joined me in the Hive. We're going to be taking a look at the wonderful Scott Wright from Coronation Street, the fabulous Carlos Main from Il Divo, Phil Mealy from Early Doors and the Royal Family fame, and Sharon Latham, if you are a massive fan of Oasis and Man City. You don't want to miss what she had to say about them. But first up, I'm going to take us back to show number 1, where it all started. And in our launch show, we had a very special lady called Tally Bookbinder. She's a celebrity makeup artist, and she told me how she got her early break with a little-known boy band called Take That. Take a look.
I remember turning up on the Back for Good video with a pair of cream suede boots because I didn't read the call sheet properly and didn't realise that there was going to be water and rain for 2 days. I ended up literally with like bronchial pneumonia, but pulled it off. No, I'm fine. I'm fine. I literally had, because I wanted to dress up and look the part. And
those boots would have been ruined, yeah?
The boots were ruined. I didn't care about the boots. I walked around with wet feet for 2 days, but I was on the Take That video. It was very exciting.
It's amazingly exciting.
Yeah,
for God.
And it was all these massive, big umbrella-style shower curtains, which just saturated all of us for 2 full days to give that effect.
How do you keep how do you do makeup when you've got all the rain coming down? I mean, I know it's different because you haven't got girls with mascara on and all that.
Yeah,
but
you're just running in and running out every 2 minutes. It was a real test of my. Yeah, it was. You're running in, you're running out, you're running in, you're running out, and you're just keeping a check on them. But the thing is, the boys actually had umbrellas over them. There was water everywhere, but the boys had umbrellas over them, so they actually stayed relatively dry. But it was freezing.
Really?
It was freezing.
Oh my God! The things that you do,
we
just
do
that,
Take
That, boys.
We do that.
I'm a huge Take That fan.
I heard.
Yeah, absolutely.
I heard you have a Take That story.
I do have a Take That story. It might not be told tonight.
Okay.
Might be told after the show.
Okay.
After the show. And maybe in future episodes.
Okay. I think we should keep that.
But what were they like?
They were an absolute joy to be around. We had so much fun. We literally ate our way around Europe, and because the thing is, they work so hard. Like, I don't think people actually realise, literally from 6 o'clock in the morning, from your call times, from your interviews, from your live performances, from the pre-recorded stuff, they work. So the joy was sitting down at the end of the day in whatever country you were with the favourite dish, and that was such a treat. You know, being somewhere exciting and tasting it was a real privilege tasting the local cuisine, and it was very special.
Yeah. And how did you cope with kind of all the entourage of fans? I mean, it was like the Beatles when at the time. It was manic. And did they kind of look at you as a woman following them around? Did you kind of get the fans going? Look at her.
Well, they used to turn up at the airport and ask me. I was asked if there was any sponges or any cotton wool that I've used left over, if I could keep them. And at breakfast, they used to wait and say if there was any crusts and things. I mean, mental.
That's
crazy.
Yeah, that's a bit of a nightmare.
Really obsessive.
Did you keep any of them and
never
put them on eBay?
No, I never. Gonna say, never did. Never kept a sponge. Never kept a dirty tissue. No, there's an absolute place for that. But these girls I could not believe it. I remember sat in my bedroom window in somewhere like Vienna and peeking out the window, and there was a sea of girls on the ground floor, and we were about 10 floors up, and they stayed there for days.
Wow.
And as a young girl myself, I thought I couldn't get my head around it. But then every single European city we went to, the same girls followed them with the mums So the mums would turn up in reception with the fans, and they're just they were.
That's insane.
It really was.
It is insane. It was a completely, it
was a phenomenon, wasn't it?
It was. It really, really was.
So there you go. Take that, flipping it. Getting all the stuff like the snot rags and the flipping face sponges. Some serious fans there, but do you know what? It was a total era, wasn't it? Seeing the Take That boys, and Tally went with them, as you said, around the world. To what an experience. She had loads to share. And as you'll have seen there, she pulled me up on my Take That story, and I still haven't said it on the Hive, but I will give you a little bit of a tease now. It involves a Mr. Orange. That's all I'm saying for now. It will be in one of the following shows. If you stay with Live in the Hive, you will get to hear my Jason Orange story, I'm sure. So following on from the wonderful Tally Bookbinder, we had lots of really interesting guests as well. One of my good friends, I got to come on the show. I think he's incredible. He's a great actor. He's a singer. He presents as well, but you might remember him from a very famous soap. Shall we take a look at who I'm talking about? Take a look at this.
The people at home tonight will always remember you for your iconic role in Coronation Street. And I'm talking about this, Scott.
Oh, God. 21 years ago, that. 21 years ago.
No. Shut up. I think we need to see it again. So you still look the same, Scott. You really do.
I'm in better shape now.
Do you know what were those days like in Coronation Street? Because it does seem like like it was yesterday, because Sam Kingston, the character, the mechanic / stripper, did stick in everyone's mind, especially for that scene with the snake.
Well, it was, I mean, for a 25-year-old guy, it was a lot of fun. Do you know what I mean? Not just doing the job, but obviously the things that go with it, and a lot of traveling, a lot of girls, and a lot of parties and stuff. And it was great. And I had a ball. And because the character was a stripper, and because he was a fun character, I just got a lot of nice things and a lot of love. It was a good time, good times.
Was it weird? Because I did a small part in Coronation Street many moons ago. I didn't get to be in it full time. I don't think I was that good enough. They were like, see ya. But I remember the first time that I went in the green room, and I found it really surreal, because there was your Jack and your Veras, and these are the people that you watch on the television week on, week off. What was that like for you?
Oh, it is mad when you first go in, because as well, them older characters like the Jack and Veras and the Eileen Derbyshire who played, I can't remember her name, I can only remember, what did Eileen play?
Do you know what? Oh, gosh, she was with Percy, wasn't she? Eileen Derbyshire. I bet one of our people watching tonight know that. We've got a few saying, there's lots of people saying hello to you, Scott.
Oh, hello, Manchester. Oh, I like the tarts. Hello, tarts.
Yeah,
right.
Absolutely. I can't think of what her name was. It'll come to me.
Well, that's really bad, actually, because she was in it from the 5th episode, and I started to remember when I first came into it, I knew them like Mike Lavelle and you as Kevin, and I said a few times over the first few weeks, because I was working with Kevin, I actually called him Kevin instead of Mike. So I had to try and learn it. So instead of remembering the characters' names now, after all these years, I remember the real names. But when I first went in the green room, everyone's like, they've got the wigs on and they've got the makeup on and stuff like that. So I just remembered them off. It was difficult to actually see them as normal people. Do you see what I mean? Are you back again, Michelle? You've disappeared.
No, do you know what? I wanted to full screen you because I wanted the attention on you. You were talking about people, and also I did a little bit of digging, and Daniel Westwood, bless his little heart, said Emily Bishop is come to your rescue.
Sorry,
that's Eileen Derbyshire.
No, you disappeared then and stopped my train of thought. But so when I first went in the green room, they're all in costume, and it was like going to an alien planet. It was a bit odd. you know, and they're so famous as well, and particularly in them days as well. It was 18 million viewers, so people were mega famous. So it was surreal, but you soon get used to it, and you soon it soon just becomes normal, doesn't it? When were you on it?
Gosh, I was on it in 2000, and there was a siege in Coronation Street at Fresco's, and I was a checkout girl called Wendy, and I had a gun pointed at me.
There was Kieran.
Yeah,
it was Kieran. It was
with Kieran. Yeah, absolutely.
Kieran.
And I had great lines like, "It's gonna kill us! It's gonna kill us!" So, and I acted pretty much like that, Scott. So that's probably why I never made a return.
That would have been about February before I joined, I would say, wouldn't it? It would have been around that time. God, 21 years ago.
Oh my God. Do you know what, though? It's like loads of people are making returns at the moment. And, you know, at the minute, you've got Sue Devaney. You've got Tracy Bennett. She's back in there.
See?
I think they should bring Sam Kingston back. Would you be up for it, Scott?
100%. I've got the abs. I'm ready. Do you know what I mean? Let's go. I'm
Are
really
they as good as those abs?
No, I'm in better shape than that now, to be honest.
I know you are. I know.
I know what to do now.
I think he'd be great.
To do them.
I think having him back could really mix it up. I've got a bit of a scenario because obviously he was good mates with Kev, right?
Yes.
So I think Kev's new missus. I think you come back and maybe you meet her in a bar, do a bit of chatting her up, and then you and Kev have a right fisticuffs. It'd be brilliant.
And I'd win. So happy days.
I think he would win. I think he would. Between him and Kev, I don't think Kev stands a chance. Sorry, Michael Lavelle. Oh, seeing Scott there and talking about his days in Coronation Street, they need to get him back. Wouldn't he spice the show up? And you know what? We need a little bit of spice sometimes. So my fingers are crossed that Scott makes a return to Coronation Street because I think he would be absolutely epic. So if you've just joined us this evening, think to yourself, oh, okay, what's going on? I might have seen Scott before. Or, you know, if you watched earlier on and you thought, I've seen Tally somewhere before, don't worry, you are not going stir crazy. We are just raising a glass this evening to the fact that we are almost at show 20. Tonight, we are 19 years old, but we won't be 19 forever like the Cortinas said. So we want to go out with a bit of a bang. Yes, we are doing the Best Bit show tonight. So I have collated all my favourite guests over the last 19 shows. And we are showing you some of the highlights, especially if you haven't ever seen the show before, then you will know by the end of this evening what it's about. And we have a good old laugh while we are doing Live in the Hive. We've had so many different people in the Hive, but one particular guest did get a lot of fans for looking to the show. Fans from Estonia, fans from Belgium, fans from France, fans from England. Yeah, England too. What am I talking about? Well, of course, there is one international super band for men called Il Divo. And I got the chance a couple of episodes ago to talk to the wonderful Carlos Main. And if you missed it, fear not, because here is Carlos talking to me about his style. Oh, he is very stylish. Are you incredible singers and performers, but you're very stylish. I mean, I could never imagine you, Carlos, in lockdown, in sweatpants and a t-shirt.
Well, I'm right now with my underwear. No, I'm kidding.
Don't say that. You'll get everybody hot and bothered.
No. I'm kidding. I have a nice shirt on. So I must say one of the beauty of Il Divo, and I think that's one of the fantastic thing of Il Divo, because it's a kind of a mix of the rap package style with those tuxedos, Armani suits, with those things, and I think that has been something special. And I think Il Divo not wearing this kind of suits when you sing, it wouldn't be Il Divo. It's like, as I said, the Rat Pack without those suits, there wouldn't be the Rat Pack. So I
and we
think
love
that's
them.
your sense.
We absolutely love them. Tony, actually, one of your fans said, who dresses you, who styles you? And Armani, I mean, that's got to be the best. So fantastic. Big tick there, Carlos.
It is. Armani suits. I think for the man, Armani is the best one. My opinion.
Fab. Now, getting back to your performing, you have performed for some of the most incredible people. You've performed for Obama, Bush, the Queen. Is there any particular performance that you and the rest of Il Divo think, wow, that was it?
It wasn't really. I mean, when we did this tour with Barbara Streisand, that was amazing. Look,
I love her.
Just being at the Madison Square Garden, there was all the actors: Robert De Niro, Ben Stiller, Oprah Winfrey, all the politicians. And I remember at the intermission, suddenly, someone knocked in our door at the dressing room, and I opened the door, and suddenly it was Hillary Clinton. She said, "Hey guys, I'm a very big fan of you. Can I make a photo with you?" And I said, "Oh, yes, of course." So I just told the guys, "Hey guys, here's Hillary Clinton. She wants to have a photo." So then obviously we went out, we did the photo with her, and then suddenly Bill Clinton came. He said, "Hey, I just played the saxophone with you." And then, well, all the press was there, and they were saying that they were supposed to do a tour with Bill Clinton. So has been an amazing experience. I must say that time there were all the actors. I mean, even being with Barbara Streisand, she's such an icon and everything.
Oh,
and
she's a legend, isn't she?
Yeah, she's a legend.
Did you duet with Barbara?
Yeah. We did a show together. I mean, we were touring together. We did four duets together, and we were doing our own show, and she was doing her show, and then she was introducing us in the middle of the show. I mean, coming from down up, I mean, with a lift. It was amazing. It was amazing. That was all around America, and
that is
has been
some
fantastic.
Concert. I wish I'd have gone to that concert.
But
we get the chance to see you here in Manchester and across the UK on your Christmas with Il Divo tour. And in the meantime, we can listen to your fantastic album, which is full of the most incredible Motown music done just a wonderful way Il Divo do it. So thank you so much, Carlos, for joining me. I know if you haven't got your ticket yet, one of the places is completely sold out. The others are definitely going to be selling out very fast. So you can get your tickets just below. I would like to say adios, Carlos.
Adios, my darling. So hopefully we'll see you over there in the show, so I can hug you in person.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you'll have to hug my mother-in-law, Joan.
Absolutely.
A super fan of yours.
I will.
You know that my mother-in-law is going to keep Carlos to that. And I'm going to get so many brownie points from her. So Joan, if you are watching this evening, Carlos said that. So me and you are going to get hugs from Carlos. Oh, could you tell that I was very taken by him? I think by the end of that, he made me go really hot. I was like, oh, I do get why they like Il Divo now. And yes, their music is fab. And they are just lovely, smart men. And their concert is on the 14th of December. You haven't missed it. This might be a best-of show, but they're on the 14th of December at Manchester's Bridgewater Hall. So I'm sure you'll be able to still get tickets. Well, I hope so, because Jo might have, booked them all. My mother-in-law, you know what she's like. But yeah, Carlos was great. Carlos was fabulous to have on, and the response of people all over the world, they truly are massive Il Divo. Now let's go from Carlos and his talented singing to someone who is just as talented with comedy. I'm talking about the wonderful Phil Mealey. You might remember Phil from Early Doors. He was the writer and also starred in Early Doors himself. He wrote it with Craig Cash, but he also worked on a very famous other comedy. If I said the royal family, would a lot of you think about the Queen, or would you think about the family that were all sat on the sofa and huddling round with like baby Dave? You do know what I'm talking about. The hit BBC One show. And I couldn't let Phil go without asking about his time on that very same programme. Here you go. Oh, right. Early doors, but you did writing on this little show. I mean, it wasn't that successful, was it, the royal family?
What was it? Who are they again?
God knows, I don't know who they are.
Yeah, and I was like, yeah, it's just a little program on. I remember it a while ago. Yeah, yes. I started writing it in 2005 or 6. And the first one I did was the Queen of Sheba, where the first was.
Oh, you didn't.
Yeah.
That makes me cry every time.
I didn't kill her off. It wasn't me. You know. But
wow.
yeah, it was great though, fantastic. You know, and again, you know, the cast are just like. It's one of those things, you know. You write you write things. Sometimes you write things, and somebody acts it out, and you think, no, it's not as good as we. With the royal family, it was never like that. It was always, it always gave you something extra. And Ricky just, well, they're all amazing, but Ricky would be brilliant because if you needed something to cut to, I was there messing about with his ears or picking his nose or doing something, you know. So if you're stuck on a shot, you could always pick to Ricky cleaning his belly button out or something gross, so that you could go back somewhere else. But yeah, no, just fabulous. And of course, you know, lovely Caroline. You know, I mean, I've known Caroline for 30 years. I knew when she was Signal. That was KFM radio then in Stockport. So. And she's, you know, really just, you know what I mean? I mean, it's 5 years ago now. I mean, it's incredible how long it is. But
the legacy that she left, I mean, she was absolutely just outstanding. A comedy, a timing. Yeah. I remember Mrs. Merton. And for me, one of the classic things that she said on Mrs. Merton was when she said to, Paul Daniels' wife, and she was like, she went, oh, what attracted you to the millionaire Paul Daniels? I was like, it's genius. It really is genius.
That's the sort of, you know, and that was Caroline's line. That it was her. She wrote that line. Think, oh man, that'll go down in history. Only that line is just, you know, what first attracted you to millionaire Paul Daniels. Fantastic. It's just brilliant, you know.
I love it.
Yeah, she was great, Caroline. She's so. Well, at a funeral, we went to a funeral, and the priest who was doing the service said, Caroline, he'd gone round because the mum's a very religious Catholic woman, and they went round to the house, and Caroline turned up, and the next thing, Caroline said, let's do that trick where, you know, when you're in a chair and you close your eyes, and then you think you're being lifted up, and you pull your head, and you think you've hit the scene. They were doing that to the priest. He was telling this story. It was Caroline was like, here, let's do this. Somebody did it to me. You'll love this. She had no kind of filter like that. You know what I mean? She was just up for fun, you know, all the time. She used to always write notes when we go round to her house. One time I had a pair of, like, they weren't hush puppies, but she called them. And she said, what's Richard Bryan? Now you've got his shoes, Phil, his old man's shoes. And I was like, you cheeky. And then next day went round and there was a note, please, anyone with Richard Bryan shoes on, please do not enter. You know, she just was really up for fun, you know, all the time. Yeah.
And that's why people loved her. Oh, it certainly was. Great memories there of Caroline Aherne. Absolute classic legend and will never, ever be forgotten. So really nice stories and memories there from Phil Mealy, star of Early Doors and also writer on the royal family. Well, we're coming to our last best of guests. And if you are an Oasis fan or a fan of Noel Gallagher or a fan of Manchester City, dare I say that when I am the wife of a Man United red. But we had in the Hive the wonderful Sharon Latham, who has photographed all of those incredible people. Yes, the whole team of Man City, Noel Gallagher on tour, Oasis on tour, and a number of big super celebrities. I was really chuffed that I managed to get hold of her because she was actually doing a brand new tour herself of the new Blazing World, which was a photographic exhibition where she had put some of her wonderful photos on display. But of course, Sharon can tell it way better than I can. So stay tuned, because here is Sharon talking about just what it was like to be on tour with the wonderful and very cool Noel Gallagher.
2019. So there's everything from the tour that we did with U2 to the American tour. There's even some behind the scenes shots from video shoots and things like that. So yeah, there's a lot in there.
Well, I'm going to take a look at this one because obviously this is him in the studio, I would have said.
Tell us the magic.
That where the magic happens.
Yeah, and that is a funny situation because it's a very small studio. That was one of the side rooms to it. And the very small studio meant that I was having to crawl into unusual spaces. And unfortunately, at one point, I kept thinking in my head, don't breathe, don't talk, don't sneeze. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm recording live. And what did I do? Literally went to sit down and knocked a whole bunch of jingle bell things off a drum, and it all just went ka-ching!
Oh, no!
And Noel just looked at me and went, Shaz, I'm going to ask you to leave in a minute if you don't stop it. So I was like, oh. So I was hiding behind drum kits and crawling behind amps and all the rest of it, as I normally do. But I'm not a delicate little wallflower. I'm 6'1". So I'm like, oh, I have to contort myself into all sorts of angles.
But the thing is, that's it. To get the right picture, you knew you were going to get, you know, the right moment, weren't you? So you have to do these things. I like this one of Noel, though. I think he looks very relaxed and just chilled in a good place.
Yeah, that is that was backstage, amazingly enough, in a piazza in Italy. And the actual venue where we were playing was in a square. It was absolutely beautiful. And that was us just chilling out beforehand, getting ready to go on stage.
God. What makes you decide whether to make the shot black and white or colour? Is there a reason behind that?
This is a bone of contention with a lot of people and me, because I prefer to shoot in black and white. Basically because I think colour is a very personal thing to various people. Your red is a completely red than I see, a completely different red than I see. Your green's a completely different green than what I see. Whereas black and white, everybody sees black and white. And I just think it's a cooler and more expressive way to photograph. And I just prefer black and white. I always have done. But then when you've got things like the beautiful lights that come on the stage and all the stuff that's going on, colour does tend to pop as well. But yeah, if I had my way, I'd shoot everything in black and white.
I like it. I think it's a lot more arty.
Everybody looks good in black and white. Honestly, doesn't matter if you've got bags under your eyes or whatever. Black and white cures all.
Do you think I could shoot this show in black and white?
Go for it. Go for it. You don't need it though. Look at you, pop a colour.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. I'm going to show one of my favourite ones now because I think this one is, you can sense the emotion and the passion. It just sums it all up, this shot for me.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Incredible. Look at that. Yeah. This is what a concert is all about. This is what we've been missing for a year and a half.
Yeah, that was quite an emotional night because that was the first gig for me shooting back at the MEN Arena after the Ariana Grande bombing. Wow. So it was quite emotional. And when that was taken from on the stage and I was literally behind an amp. And it's emotional anyway sometimes when you hear those songs being sung back. But in that environment, it was just surreal. And I did spend a lot of time skriking, which is a bit daft, but I did. And then when I was looking through the pictures and I looked at this, it just resonated with me so clearly. And Noel's quite insignificant in the corner of that picture, but the rest of it speaks for itself. And my daughter's in that shot.
Shut up. Is she? Do you know where she is?
Yeah.
That's great. I
And that
love
wasn't
that.
intentional. It was just just the sweep of the room at the time that I shot, and that's what I got.
Yeah, because actually, you all those faces you wouldn't know if you were going to catch, would you? If you were standing
No.
behind an amp.
But I know exactly where she is, and I can see her.
Oh, that is wonderful. That really is. Do you know what is it like looking out onto a crowd like that?
Yeah, as I say, it's the same because the songs get sung back so loudly. I don't know how an artist like that copes, but they do. They're very focused on what they're doing and they're enjoying it. But there's certain songs that get sung back. I mean, the anthems and all the rest of it. But there are also certain songs from the High Flying Birds that I absolutely love. And you see the crowd sort of bopping and getting into it all. It's epic. The best of it is Noel sometimes. So at the end of the gigs, for the last sort of 3 songs, I will sneak on the stage and literally sit behind Chris Sharrett, the drummer, hiding so that I can pop up every now and again. Trying not to be seen, but I do get seen. Pop up every now and again, get a shot, and pop down again. And Noel will sometimes turn round and look at Chris, and then he'll forget I'm there, and he'll go like, "What the?" And he'll go. And there's many occasions when he's flicking the V's at me, I'll stick his tongue out and go, "What are you doing there?" So, but that's for the shot. It's for the shot. No.
It's for the shot, definitely for the shot. She's a professional, is our Sharon. What great stories there. You can just imagine Noel doing that. He's a right man, proper character. I have loved looking back at some of our best bits this evening. We've had great guests up till now. Next week is show 20. We're 20 years old next week. Well, kind of. So we have got lots more to come. We've got lots of guests in store from you, from some great musical theatre shows. We've got some fantastic performers, people who've wrote books, people who are putting on events. It's all on this show. So you know where it is, Live in the Hive. Every Thursday night, we're on Facebook and we are on YouTube. So we're live streaming in my bar, in the Hive, with my nuts, with my bacon fries, and with my glasses. And if you're very lucky, I might invite you round for a bit of a tipple myself. And do stay tuned because we've got some exciting news which is coming our way in the next couple of weeks, and you are gonna love it. Thanks for tonight, everyone. Please spread the word for Live in the Hive, and I will see you lovely people next week, same time.